I'm 3 days into my LG G2 30-day challenge, and already we've got the carrier version in the offices. I've switched my SIM card out, and today I'm telling you the differences between the unlocked version and the AT&T version. I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com. This is day 3 of the LG G2 30-day challenge, this time around with the AT&T version. Let's check it out. It's day 3 of the LG G2 30-day challenge, and this time around we're pretty lucky because we're only 3 days into this 30-day challenge and the carrier version has already arrived. This is the AT&T version of the G2. I use AT&T as my personal carrier primarily, and the G2 is here with 4G LTE connectivity, so I've switched my SIM card over into this device. Now out of the box, just giving you a quick rundown here because this is the first carrier-based G2 we've seen at PhoneDog.com, giving you a rundown of what comes out of the box on this device and how it's a little bit different than the international device, at least the international one with the 3000 milliamp hour battery that LG sent over. A couple of things: applications out of the box, Amazon Kindle, code scanner, drive mode, family map, locker, navigator, ready to go, smart Wi-Fi, battery manager, data manager, device help, games, what else? All the Google Plus stuff, but that's typical. Mobile hotspot, my AT&T, YP Mobile, and then of course all the little goodies, the little numbers that you may love, you may hate, like AT&T's contact area here, which it didn't load up just then. Let's see if we can get it to trigger by going into settings and going down to, let's see if we can find it, going into settings and going into AT&T's contact option. I don't see it there, but then the AT&T contacts are right there out of the gate as well. You'll notice immediately 4G LTE connectivity. I'll let this focus in so you can take a look right up here in the top of the device, or at the top of the device rather. 4G LTE connectivity right there, and battery life continues, at least so far. I haven't used this for too long, but so far continues to be pretty decent, although it's draining pretty fast right now because I have this on full brightness for the video. AT&T logo here on the back. You'll notice a difference here as well. G2 written on the back as opposed to the unlocked version, which does not have the carrier logo and has LG at the bottom. So just showing you the difference in terms of overall look and feel. Very similar to the international version. Out of all the versions that the carriers are launching, probably one of the most similar to the international version. LG logo stays at the bottom, earpiece looks the same, the back buttons look the same, power button looks identical, volume rocker looks identical. Overall, the design is the same as the international version, and the micro SIM card slot is over here on the side, but packing 4G LTE finally. And you know how much I love my 4G LTE. Just to give you a backstory there, obviously being in Dallas, one of AT&T's 2 home markets, LTE is fantastic here on AT&T. It's nearly flawless, and I see speeds pretty regularly between anywhere from 20 megabits per second to 50 megabits per second, depending on where I'm at in the city. You'll also see some minor menu differences here, and if you're like me, you like to compare these things just to see what they're like. Comparing them side by side, you can see apps and widgets are the same, but you have a little settings button over here, whereas over here it looks slightly different with the ability to come through and add and remove stuff, which I can remove all the AT&T stuff if I want to. Yep, remove. Yep, remove, and it may just be kicking it back. Actually, remove, yes. And if you want to remove this, you can, as you're seeing me do right now. So games as well. A lot of options to remove the stuff on this device if you don't want them. I should point out 32 gigabytes of internal storage here as well, of which 24.8 roughly is available for use on this device. So not bad at all. Otherwise, bottom very similar. Everything looks the same here. I'm excited to continue to work with this. I'll show you a messaging thread just with a test device here that I've been working with. How are you today? LG's keyboard is right here. And I should point out, I talked about this in the review, and I talked about this even in day 1 of the challenge. I wasn't a huge fan out of the box, even though LG's revised their keyboard pretty substantially. Was not a huge fan of it. But I will say after having haptic feedback turned on, it makes it a little bit better. So not just the noise, but haptic feedback or vibrations as well. So how are you doing today? Thanks for the data points. Point and let me know how it goes. And of course, the keypad, the numeric keypad up there at top as well. I'll still probably download Google Keyboard onto the AT&T version, but still nice to have that. And you'll also notice the network identifier that stays up in the top as well. Another minor difference here, and I'll go ahead and send myself a test text message so you can see what I'm talking about. This is something that seems really minor, but has helped me. I'm going to say hi as the test message here, and it'll pop through on this device. Something that's actually helped me pretty significantly over on the AT&T version of the G2. I have to send another one so I can get that to go away. Do that one more time. Sorry, I messed that up. Go back here to home. Let's go ahead and get that to go. See if I can get that to go. Turn it off and back on. And there we go. It looks like, well, anyway, we'll pull it down so you can see what I'm talking about. The clear button here and the settings button have been switched on this device versus the unlocked device, making it incredibly easier, much easier, I should say. Settings button over here, as you can see. Much easier to click that. I am forever mistaking the settings button over on this for this button right here, which activates the sound. I do this probably 5 times a day, where I click the sound settings button instead of clicking this one, which goes directly into the settings. Minor thing, but really happy to see that they moved it around on this device. Obviously, the knock feature is still intact here, and the browsing continues to be good with the 5.2-inch 1080p HD display. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com. So far, I will say I use this device for Spotify as well when I'm working out. I've been pretty pleased with both the external speakers on this device and the overall performance. I was working out last night, and I used LG's headphones that come in the box with the LG G2, at least in the international version. Haven't actually checked the AT&T box. I should do that when I stop the video, but used those while I was working out last night and was very pleased with the overall sound performance coming from this device. And stay tuned for an update in the next day or so, but I've been exceptionally impressed with battery life on this device. It is a workhorse. It's got a 3,000 milliamp hour battery in this device. It's non-removable. A workhorse by all stretches of the imagination. I've been exceptionally pleased with. If you know me, you know I desire to have a device with a long flipping battery life, and this thing fits the bill. Keep it locked right here. We'll talk more about it in an upcoming video, not only with the unlocked device, but obviously with this one, now that it's packing 4G LTE connectivity. Let me know what you want to see on Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron, Facebook.com/HiAaronBaker, and I'll see you in the next challenge update video.